This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Georgia has begun cracking down on a key passenger link with Armenia, small private vans that transport groups of travelers between Yerevan and Tbilisi. A representative of one of the companies organizing such transfers told CivilNet yesterday that Georgian police started issuing fines last week for what they call illegal transfers. The fines reportedly amount to around $1,700 for each vehicle. It is unclear how the authorities legally distinguish between commercial transfers and regular trips, for example when friends or family travel together. The representative said that obtaining a proper license is a highly bureaucratic process. These small minivans are the only affordable way for many people to travel between Armenia and Georgia without a private car. A single seat costs around $8 compared to flights that start at $100 and sleeper train tickets that begin at $37 in the lowest class, with ticket availability being limited. Thus, the Georgian authorities' pressure on small-scale carriers is delivering a serious blow to passenger connectivity between the two neighboring countries. The industry representative also urged Armenian authorities to engage with their Georgian counterparts to help resolve the issue. In response to CivilNet's inquiry, Armenia's Ministry of Transport reported that only two companies are officially authorized to provide passenger transport services to Georgia. The recent fines are not linked to any new border restrictions, but are being imposed within Georgia itself, often against drivers using Georgia-registered vehicles. Georgia has a long-established Armenian community, estimated between 200,000 and 400,000 people, while only about 200 Georgians currently live in Armenia, according to the latest census. In a separate development, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan attended the Tbilisi Silk Road Forum today, where he spoke about normalization with Azerbaijan, regional connectivity, and prospects for lasting peace in the South Caucasus. Yesterday, Pashinyan met with his Georgian counterpart, Irakli Kobahidze, to discuss bilateral cooperation. Relations between the two neighbors briefly strained in July, when Georgia delayed the transit of Armenian alcoholic beverages to Russia, and liquefied natural gas, used as vehicle fuel, in the opposite direction, causing a short-term crisis in Armenia's beverage industry and a sharp rise in fuel prices. The transit issue was resolved after several weeks of negotiations, following repeated interventions by Armenia's economy minister, Gevorg Papayan, with Georgian authorities. Armenia's ruling Civil Contract Party has taken another step in its ongoing conflict with the Armenian Apostolic Church. Today, Parliament approved, though only in the first reading, a bill that would end public funding for Shoghakat, the church's television channel, available nationwide. Lawmakers behind the proposal argue that the state subsidies to the channel constitute inefficient spending. If adopted, the bill would leave only two publicly funded TV channels in Armenia, both secular. The dispute between the government and the church has been escalating since 2020, when Catholicos Karakan II accused Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan of being responsible for Armenia's defeat in the war against Azerbaijan and called for his resignation. Pashinyan stepped down, but went on to win snap elections the following year. Tensions flared again last year when Archbishop Bagrat Galstanyan, the church's top cleric in Tavush province, led a series of large demonstrations demanding Pashinyan's resignation. The idea of cutting subsidies for Shoghakat was first raised in parliament during those protests. Galstanyan was arrested in June this year on charges of plotting a terrorist act. He denies the accusations, calling them politically motivated. Two other regional church leaders remain in custody, including Mikhail Ajapayan, who was convicted earlier this month of inciting the overthrow of the government and sentenced to serve 2 years in prison. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.